Man, people have been talking about StreamYard for a minute being, a mess. Can you hear me now? She's saying something. Man, what would I do without y'all? Let me know what's happening. Can you hear me now? That sucks. Do I need to set like a whole nother one? If you can't hear me, I'm gonna just, reset the live and we can start this thing all over again. Okay, you hear me. Whew, that was irritating. But thank you, T, for being part of my being part of my team to make sure things are on point like they're supposed to be. Ugh. Anyway, as I was saying before, it's hump day. And you can see, like I said I was crawling up this hump. I was trying to get up this hump to get this day started. And I get over here, and we start with some technical difficulties. But my favorite gift from my sister, Miss T, she was over here making sure things was in order. So thank you, T, for getting me, giving me that boost I needed to get up this hump. How's y'all's humping? It's a coffee morning. And, I've been looking forward to coming over here to talk to you guys about the things that's been going on. This was one of those days. Listen, I'm not going to talk about, there's things going on. There's just some things I'm not going to do. I'm not going to talk about 50 Cent arguing with King over there. I feel like sometimes you listen to things that bring your brain cells down. And, at my age, I need to keep all the brain cells that I got. So I can't worry about what's going on back and forth with the ignorance. So I'm not going to go there. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. We got a slow start this morning, but we here now. We here to talk about things. And I'm going to start here because it didn't sound like maybe a great story. Obviously, it wasn't a great story. Something bad happened. But the outcome was actually good. So I think it was Georgia. I'm gonna start with what happened, and then I'll share with you what happened after. Hey, High Vibe, welcome to the chat. We over here early in the morning. We doing our coffee talk, and what you drinking, Miss High Vibe? Okay, so this happened, and scary situation. I haven't heard anything about what happened, with the mother. Now that we know, what the outcome of the story is, but yeah, this wasn't Georgia. This was Alabama. So a missing toddler, Genesis Reed, sparks statewide Alabama search. Plus, mother charged after police say the child was gone for weeks. Now, this part of the story is a little curious. An intensive search remains underway in Enterprise, Alabama, as authorities continue working to locate missing 2-year-old Genesis Reed. During a press conference, the Enterprise Police Department confirmed that search efforts have not been reduced and will continue through the weekend. Multiple agencies across the state, including the FBI, are assisting in this investigation. Ooh, y'all keep your eye on the kids. It's very emotional, all of us. Just about 90% of us have kids, said the EPD chief, Michael Moore. We will search anywhere leads take us. Genesis was reported missing on February 16th by her mother, 33-year-old Adrienne Reed, who initially told police she found their apartment door open and believed the toddler was wandering outside around 3 a.m. Can you imagine? Investors later stated they found inconsistencies in her account and revealed the child had not been seen in several weeks. Reed has been arrested and charged with false reporting to law enforcement authorities. She's being held in Coffee County Jail on a $1 million cash-only bond. I don't know if she got $1 million. You drinking water, High Vibe? I mean, that's good for you. That's good for you to start today. I'll get to my water, but right now I'm on this caffeinated. Officials are urging residents to avoid spreading misinformation and rely on updates issued by Enterprise Police as the search continues. So that was, a few days ago, and there has been an update on this story. Although I'm not sure what's going on with that mother. So there's an update, but there's some missing pieces to the story also. So this is what's going on with that story now.
Oh my God, that's her. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yep, that's her. It looks like her.
Security guard took a picture of her, and he's like looking at her. And in the thing it said the lady's wearing like pink pants.
The Amber Alert that went out yesterday?
Never? Yesterday? That one.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Does that block the truck?
Huh?
Does that block them?
Should block. Let me write it down.
Texas plate.
Texas plate, what is it?
Is she a young girl?
You can't look it up of what she looks like?
Yes, I can. It's right here.
You got it?
Show me a picture, because I know what that girl looks like. She ran right past me.
Okay, hold on.
Oh my God, that's her. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yep, that's exactly what she looks like.
Missing from Avondale is safe, and the woman accused of taking her is now in custody facing multiple charges. Thank you for being here for 12 News at 10. I'm Troy Hayden. An Amber Alert for Kalani Rogers was issued yesterday afternoon. You probably got it on your phone. And the break in the case came this morning from an unexpected group of Good Samaritans. 12 News journalist Kyle Simchuk has our story.
Well, employees of this moving company are being hailed as heroes tonight for their quick thinking. They made sure this suspected kidnapper could not escape before police arrived. Kaylani Rogers, just 3 years old, had been missing since Saturday. Police say Marina Noriega allegedly abducted her from her Avondale home. The child's family was giving Noriega a place to stay, according to family members. By early Sunday morning, an Amber Alert had blanketed the Phoenix metro area. A security guard at this QT spotted the pair as they walked into the gas station.
Before they hit their job, they stop and they get coffee, donuts.
Chad Olson, founder of Camelback Moving, says the security
Missing from Avondale is safe. And
he didn't want to spook Noriega, so he asked the crew to get her license plate.
When we got back with that, he'd gotten on the phone with the police, and our crews then collectively kind of discussed what a plan
Does that block the truck?
Huh?
Does that block them?
Should block.
to prevent this, or to at least recognize some of the signs of trafficking that occur because we're in their homes.
Sunday morning, that training and those instincts helped bring a little.
To prevent this, or to
So the good news is this young lady was found. I'm still not sure, like they did not say in this story what was happening with the mom. You say looks like trafficking interrupted. Yeah, but yes, I agree. And it's wild that these movers have to have training. The mom didn't know them, but she knew the lady. So let me get to that part of the story. Yeah, because they said the mother, she in jail for $1 million bond, cash only. So I don't know how that's going to work. What does that mean? Who's working together with who? It's very confusing. Like we're glad this baby is back at home, but this is what it says. A missing 3-year-old from Arizona has been safely found after convenience store security guard and moving company workers helped authorities track her down. According to police, 23-year-old Marina Noriega has now been arrested and booked on one count of custodial interference. So, okay, it's custodial interference. Authorities say Noriega was only a recent acquaintance with the toddler's family. So they just met this lady. Reports say the child, identified as Kaylani Rogers, was last seen late Friday. How many names they got for this baby? First they said her name was Genesis Reed. Now they saying it's Kaylani Rogers. Was last seen late Friday night after her parents allowed Noriega to stay the night at their home. At some point, she allegedly disappeared with their daughter, which led to the child being reported missing. 2 days later, on Sunday, a security guard at Quick Trip spotted a woman and a child who matched the alert description and mentioned it while on the phone. A worker came back from Camelback. A worker from Camelback Movie overheard the conversation and spoke up. The security guard worked with the moving crew that was already at the location to confirm suspect's vehicle from there. The workers jumped into action and positioned their moving trucks and blocked the car in the parking lot so the woman couldn't leave. Police say they received a citizen's tip about the toddler's location at a gas station in Phoenix. Officers responded to the scene, safely recovered Kehlani, and took Noriega into custody. What's your thoughts on this? It looks to me like they have used the same child for two different stories. Yeah, they use the same little girl's face because this story don't even match up, which is wild. Oh, maybe it's not the same girl. It's not the same little girl. It looked like the same little girl, but it's not. So that's my bad. Yeah, so this toddler in Alabama is still missing. But thank goodness they let a stranger stay with them. Yes. Child, Wednesday is humping like a hump. So yeah, the first story I initially told, it looks like the same child, but it's not the same child. The little girl Genesis in Alabama is actually still missing. And, so her mama is definitely a suspect in that situation. This little girl, though, that they managed to stop, they let a stranger stay and she stole the baby. They said they just met this person. Why do we do that? Why do people do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, just letting people stay in your house when you don't know them. Letting people stay in your house when you do know them can sometimes be a problem. So, thank goodness that, they got this little girl back home. It's wild to me that they have to have training for trafficking. I guess, like when you're a truck driver, you need to be paying attention to certain things, kind of like when you're in school and they have these active powers over here training for the kids. That's, not traumatizing at all. Yesterday, we talked about, this man over at the BAFTA Awards screaming out obscenities in the public. And there's been a very, big debate back and forth whether, did he mean it? Was it an accident? Was it disorder? Blah, blah, blah. I've heard so many things about this man who was doing a whole lot of clear speaking throughout the night. You know what I'm saying? And they also said somebody that was there, one of the actresses from Sinners, said he screamed it out multiple times. So Amanda Seales always got something to say. I love Amanda and can't stand her ass at the same damn time. Sometimes she wears me out. She seems like a very unhappy person who knows everything. But, I'm still here with you, Amanda. This is what she had to say, and I'm conflicted with my feelings.
Amongst themselves. I'll keep showing up to these racist ass places and expecting racism not to happen. Stop supporting this shit. Let them crackers be amongst themselves. I don't know why we keep showing up to these places expecting respect. Okay, Kerbin, you had 3 strikes and you are out. You had nothing valid to say. You asked me twice about Dr. Umar and then asked would I consider dating a man younger than me. Go away. I just don't see the point. Why are you going to the Oscars, the BAFTAs, like Ryan Coogler, whose work I love and who I respect, is gonna go to the Grammy, is gonna go to the Oscars. And his whole movie is about how assimilation is what. Let them crackers be amongst themselves.
I I can't listen to her say that more. I feel like I had a day like that yesterday. Maybe that's why my internet and my StreamYard is acting crazy because I kept screaming crackers yesterday. Um, you were in a frozen water people meeting yesterday. What to do if they show up? Yes, because you have all those children over there within your possession, and clearly, there's a war on children. It seems like we got to protect our kids with everything we got, and then when you send them over to the school system, and you got to be careful about. You know how I feel about educate ourselves, segregate ourselves. Y'all can be mad at me if you want to, but pro segregation here. That's how I feel about that. That's how you save a life. You know what I mean? Everybody handle their own. And that's another conversation for another day. But this is the thing about that. I hear what she's saying. I didn't even know about BAFTA till this man was Tourette'ing out nigga. I do feel like this, though, as it relates to Ryan Coogler. I think when you're in the industry, you have to choose your battles. And if he doesn't show up at the Oscars, what does that do for his career? He's getting all these accolades that allows him more opportunity to employ Black actors, Black producers, Black writers. Is the outcome, is the outcome of him attending going to benefit him, you know what I'm saying, in a way that is going to be better for more people? I think so. Yeah, I don't know that you should show up expecting them to not be racist. Don't show up in that state of mind, because then you're bound to pop off. Or be surprised and then pop off. And I'm glad not everybody thinks that way. Because I only see Amanda in her house eating random things with the hair punched up on top of her head. She don't even look like she comb her hair no more. I feel like Amanda is super duper smart, but she doesn't necessarily allow other points of view. And you can't, I don't think, function that way. You have to be open to other points of view. Even if you don't agree with it, you have to be able to see things from eyes that, other eyes, other perspectives. We have to build our own while they're not paying attention. Yeah. And the way to build our own is to gain wealth. And maybe, somebody, go in the room and see what's being said and what's being said over there. So we know now what was being said. Tyler Perry's popped up with a whole studio over there, and the requirements might be for him to have you drink Hennessy and bend over. Be careful out there, handsome boys. But you're right. He has a whole studio. He is in the position to, employ a lot of actors. Hopefully at some point he will employ more writers. I think, the voices are out there, and Tyler is, like most people would be, I would assume, defensive in terms of how he's going to spend his money or keep it. But the opportunity is there, buying all that. We don't need to go to their studios. We could go to our own studios. So, and there's always going to be a big bad wolf. Wherever you go, there's always going to be a big bad wolf. And if the requirement is to drink Hennessy and, bend over in order to get a job, maybe that ain't the right job. You're going to have to, choose something different. But I don't think that the answer is necessarily to not go, especially he's nominated 16 times. So these are important places for him to show up. And what if everybody felt that way? I don't think that's how you make progress. I hear what she's saying. I think, like T said, we build our own and, move accordingly. It's a revolution, just in case you didn't know. History shows us over and over again, though, what we're capable of. Did you know Dr. George Grant invented the golf tee and became the first Black professor at Harvard? Another inventor for y'all was out there, tearing up the grass. What circles was he in? You know what I'm saying? Where was he at in order to be focused on golf? Probably somewhere being a caddy or one of those things that they thought we were only worthy of. Whole time he watching y'all look a fool and came up with an idea that golf tees, it's like a necessity to the game. Grant was born to formerly enslaved parents and began working for dentist Dr. Albert Smith, initially an errand boy and eventually became a lab assistant at 15 years old. Wow. So Dr. Albert Smith, brought this kid on in spite of. Dr. Smith encouraged him to pursue a career in dentistry. In 1868, Grant and Robert Tanner Freeman became the first Black Americans to enroll in Harvard Dental School. After receiving his degree in 1870, Grant became the first Black professor at Harvard in the School of Medicine of Mechanical Dentistry, where he worked for 19 years. Imagine if he decided not to go. Robert Tanner Freeman was also he was also Black, but he employed this young boy. He employed him as an errand boy, or what they like to call now personal assistant. I'm gonna call him that instead. He employed him as a personal assistant, and then he encouraged him to go on to become a dentist, and he ended up, a professor at Harvard in the 1870s. Grant specialized in treating patients with congenital cleft palates. His first patient was a 14-year-old girl, and by 1889, he had treated 115 cases. He patented the oblate palate and prosthetic device that allowed patients to speak more normally. Grant was an avid golfer, and in 1899, he invented and patented the golf tee, whittled from wood and capped with gutta percha. I don't know what that is. George Franklin Grant died in 1918. So, excuse me, he was not over there caddying for the golf people. He was over there playing golf because he was a whole professor down to Harvard, which gave him access to other things. So that's why I think it's not always necessary, Amanda, for you to don't go over there with them crackers. Because sometimes you got to, be the trailblazer. What'd you say, T? I saw this story about a Black man who designed custom homes, but when he moved in the neighborhood, they called the police on him. That's what they do. That's what they do. Call the police, and he's probably designed, homes for half of y'all living over there. Yeah, somebody has to be a trailblazer. I get what she's saying, and I definitely think, having our own is very important. And I think for a lot of people, having a Soul Train award versus having a Grammy might be more important to them because that's acceptance from their own. And I think that's what a lot of artists, strive for anyway. So yeah, we don't always, Amanda, have to stay away. Sometimes it's necessary to go on and be the trailblazer and, create more access. Just like he worked for a doctor who encouraged him to be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Now you got two doctors and a patent. Which that patent is, probably what made him more wealthy than being a doctor even. I love me some Cat Williams. And we know Cat is a fool. But the things he's been doing with his money is commendable. Comedian and entrepreneur Cat Williams is investing in the future of filmmaking by partnering with Alabama HBCU Miles College to help students break into the fast-growing world of AI and augmented reality. According to NBC affiliates WVTM 13, the initiative includes the launch of Cat Williams' established Miles College Scholarship Fund for an AI augmented reality. The program connects directly to Williams' broader vision of transforming Fort McLean in Anniston, Alabama, into a full-scale production campus through his company, Kemet Movie Works, like Tyler Perry did, T. The partnership creates hands-on opportunities for students to explore virtual production, CGI, and immersive storytelling. We've signed an agreement that our students will have the opportunity to participate to learn about AI and AR, said Miles College President Bobby Knight. Williams emphasized the importance of building infrastructure at home. We had to go to another foreign country and gave them millions of dollars, he said. Instead of that, we have the ability to create all of that using qualified people of color. Heck yeah. Knight also highlighted the urgency of preparing students for industry shifts. There's a lot of jobs right now that in 5 years won't be in existence because AR and AI, he said. We want to make sure that our students are equipped with tools they need to operate in that world. Shout out to that, because we know it's coming. We're not stopping nothing. Just give us an opportunity to deal with the best and the brightest, Williams added, and make sure that people that look like us are able to get these opportunities. What y'all think about that? AI usage was the other topic in our meeting. It's coming, and here's an opportunity that's created, like you were saying, T, we building it. And he's doing a lot over there in Alabama. Cat is secretly like buying properties and stuff like that. Sooner or later, there will be a whole town. And I did see a story. I think it is in Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's in Georgia. There's a city in Georgia that I think it was 19 people invested in 97 acres of land. So it's happening, and that land is going to be hard to get to. So people are going to have to, build and invest together. It takes a village. That's what they said. That means we can have our own education without worrying about somebody snatching the kids out the school. We know that they will challenge our status in terms of immigration. They make stuff up. Even if you're 90, they're going to be like something fishy over here. So we're going to have to detain you. They're doing weird things. So shout out to Kat. Like, I love to hear it. I would love to see more, more of these people that are not on the Illuminati list, AKA Epstein files. Shout out to the people that's out here doing things for the community. That's very important. And we obviously have a history in, technology. If you have the opportunity, get your kids in STEM programs. You know what I'm saying? Because those are always the programs that move forward before everything else does. Speaking of the files and things, y'all's Grand Wizard is coming for Netflix. This whole Netflix conversation has been very confusing to me. Like, there was an acquisition that was supposed to be happening. Then, we getting bits and pieces of what's going on over here with Netflix. But whatever is going on got your boy P mad. President Trump warns Netflix to fire board member Susan Rice or pay the consequences amid their $100 billion acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery. So did they acquire it or not? Because if they acquired it, then why does he feel like he has so much to say? Netflix is stuck between a rock and a hard place amid their $100 billion acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery. And y'all know that was, Paramount, I believe, was involved, or maybe that's a different fight, child. Don't have me over here lying. They can stand by their board member, Susan Rice, who has criticized Trump publicly and risk losing out on $100 billion acquisition and paying a $5 billion fee, or they can fire Susan to save the deal. What do you think they will do? I think Susan will get the boot. That's what I think. I mean, they have to be strategic in how they do that too. Like, anyway, Rice, who served in top roles in the Obama and Biden administration, made several critical remarks about the commander-in-chief during appearance on podcasts. Stay tuned with the Preet Bharara. Trump responded by demanding that Netflix remove her from her seat or pay the consequences. What do you think Netflix is going to do? They need regulatory approval for the deal, so they need to be on Trump's good side. Somebody said they should fire her, do the deal, rehire her back in a higher position. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking she could take a break. You know what I'm saying? What'd you say? He's filing to the boards up with his people like he did at the Kennedy Center. Yeah, but the Kennedy Center ain't did nothing since he put his name on it. Now he wants to have his name on a airport down here in Florida. I don't know what his obsession is with having his name on everything. But what do you think they'll do? Like, it is a rock and a hard place, because if they don't fire her, then chances are the deal won't go through in the acquisition. And so I would, whoever was in the comments, let her go for a minute, redirect her position. Netflix has been fighting a hard fight in this whole situation. So I don't know that they just gonna bow down like that, but here's one of those situations. What do we do? So I don't know what they're gonna do. I know if it was me, yeah, they could give her a break, bring her back. Nobody says she can't come back. So okay, we'll let her go. He's so stupid. He fighting because she said something bad about him in the Obama administration. That was 2 administrations ago. Stupid ass. Anyway, this is for all my girlies that's wearing the braids and things. They coming for us through the hair.
Brands of human, synthetic, and plant-based braiding hair, and they were looking for the presence of 3 heavy metals: lead, arsenic, and cadmium. They found that all but one of the brands contained heavy metals. They found that human hair had the highest levels of lead by far. Now, lead is a neurotoxin that can create a number of health problems, from reproductive issues to kidney problems. They also found that heating the hair by doing things like lighting it on fire or dipping it in boiling water could lead to the release of other potentially dangerous chemicals that could then be inhaled. Shout out to the one brand where no heavy metals were found. It is the Doso Hypoallergenic Kanekalon braiding hair. I, for one, am really happy to see a Black-owned brand leading the way when it comes to consumer safety. For the full list of the brands that were tested and all of the test results, check out Consumer Reports. They tested 30 brands.
So, there's there's poison in the hair. She named the brand. I don't wear braids, but I have, and I'm dying to put my locks back in. I don't even know, like, so boiling it, because I see them boiling it, and a lot of times, you know, if you don't know science, when you add heat to things, it doesn't like automatically, you know, it's good for cleansing and, you know, sanitizing, but not necessarily removing chemicals. Sometimes it will ignite the chemicals. So yeah, just be cognizant of where you're getting your hair from. You know, we don't think about those types of things, but this is something they know that, you know, predominantly Black girls are going to be doing. And so now, just like when you go to the grocery store and check your food and see what's the ingredients in there, I see Aldi had a recall on meatballs. They had to carry back all the meat. I go in Aldi and buy fruit and stuff like that. I don't know. Like, it's too many brands. I don't know what I'm dealing with. But yeah, they had to recall meatballs because they found lead in it. These are not accidents, I don't necessarily believe. I think they target people, you know, obviously, who are in lower income areas, and there's places where they shop in order to, you know, do bad things. So y'all, when you get your hair done, check your hair. She named a brand. I'm going to put it down in the description box because, you know, tomorrow I think we're going to just go through the alternative to Amazon, the Black directory, and maybe you can like find things over there that are going to be more conducive to building, you know, communities within ourselves. Like, come on, have to segregate. I know y'all hate to hear it. Maybe not everybody, you know, like the lady said. it ain't enough pride in ourselves over here. So on one hand, you know, we need some trailblazers, and the rest of us, while the trailblazers is doing what they doing, we need to be over here building. That's what a revolution look like. I don't know what y'all think. Shout out to Cat Williams. Go back to the basics, grow food, and become seamstresses. Well, I'm already a seamstress, and yeah, I'm gonna have my daughter. We gonna do some growing this summer. I know you be over there with your dad. T probably has her little garden set up already. I'm in Florida, and I have you know, more options because the weather stays warm. So yeah, we got our seeds doing what they're supposed to do, and we're gonna get out and grow food. You know what's crazy is not being able to collect rainwater. Oh gosh. Anyway, what else, y'all? Oh, your girl Kenya. So a judge ordered Kenya Moore's company Moore Vision Media to pay $87,976 in unpaid rent and utilities. $43,988 due by late February 2026 and $43,988 due by late March 2026. The judge also ordered her company to pay approximately $5,500 per month in rent unless or until she vacates the property. Whew. A couple of weeks after the ruling, the landlord claimed Kenya's company failed to pay the first installment by the court-ordered deadline and demand immediate possession of the property. Kenya, what you got going on over there? The court has yet to rule on the request. Kenya opened the Kenya Moore Hair Spa in Atlanta in 2024. The landlord of the location, Northland Chambly LLC, sued the RHOA star in October 25, alleging she unpaid rent and utilities under the lease. Kenya's company denied allegations. The reality star's business argued the landlord failed to make improvements to the property as requested. I mean, she's under LLC, so I don't know what that means, you know, for her personally. Usually, like, that's what protects people from having to have their own personal money tied up. You growing inside right now? What are you growing? Farmer John, let's see if we can, you know, let's have a growing battle, me and you. Let's go ahead and do our garden things. I know you got, you know, your situation is a little different than mine, but let's get it, T. This is how I feel about Kenya in that situation. This was a horrible investment in the first place. First of all, she says she took her daughter's inheritance or trust fund or college fund money to invest in this business. Kenya is not a hairstylist, and this is the problem I think with a lot of women, that they get into the business of owning the salon. Some people are good at business, and other people just liking their hair and makeup done, and like fashion, and liking fashion and all of that doesn't make you into a salon person. I don't know what the heck just happened, but I went bye-bye. You got green onions, strawberries, and herbs. I haven't done strawberries. We have green onions. What herbs are you doing? Don't let me be nosy, trying to get your secret. Anyway, this is what I think about Kenya and her investment. I looked at it and I was like, it's a beautiful salon location. That part is true. However, I'm looking at and this is from somebody I've been in this industry for over 30 years. So I know where the money comes from. This is a beautiful establishment. It's too big, first of all. Like, I think Kenya was in this era. She put a lot of money into the decorating and all of that stuff, but I don't see no business here. I see 6 chairs, and I'm sure she probably has more than 6 chairs, but I see 6 chairs crunched up next to one another. So if you're in this salon and you're experiencing this, if there's 4 people over there, now it's too much. Y'all are, in each other's space. You are listening to each other's conversations. Every time them chairs turn around, like in Florida, I don't even think you can do that. I feel like I know for sure there's regulations based on how close you can even put your salon chairs and things. So just from, a hairstylist perspective, this looks pretty, but I don't want to be over there because there's too many chairs. This section right here should have 4 chairs at most, not 6. And that's just what we can see here. So I don't know how many salon chairs there are, but just as far as I turn on my blow dryer. Now I'm blowing the lady next to me. There's hair everywhere. There's way too many problems. What I do notice though, like the lady over here that was telling folks they need to buzz their hair off, the walls are white, neutral. There's not red things. There's a lot of plants and things hanging around. And I guess it makes for a pretty picture taking wall, but how close is it to the station? Because now those beautiful flowers and curtains and things in real life are going to have hair all in it because there's hair everywhere in a hair salon. There's an upstairs to this, so I don't even know. We're only seeing part of it. The lobby it's pretty, you know what I'm saying? But if you're sitting there waiting on your appointment, those chairs are not going to be comfortable. They're white, so I guess I'm not mad at the floor. We have white floors at my salon, and it's beautiful. You know what I don't see? I don't see no money. I only see money spent because you need hair care products in order to make money. When you have a salon, if you're stylists or on commission, if you're a stylist and there's not 50-50, tell them to go kick rocks. I don't feel like anybody, I don't care if you just came out of school, I don't feel like anybody should be giving the house more than half the money. If the house is supplying you with clients, you know what I'm saying, and products, if you're in a commission situation, then 50-50 is fair. That's what your 50% is for. So if you go into somewhere, I don't care if your first day on the floor from school, 50-50, no less than that. Some places work on booth rent. I don't think that's probably what's going on over here. But in order for her to sustain just to pay the rent, $5,000 a month, she needs at least 5 stylists to be bringing in, $1,000 a month for booth rent is cheap. So she could actually be charging more than that. It looks more like a spa, even though you're right. It does give spa. She's calling it hair spa. That means hair is getting done. And in any business that's a hair salon - spa, the salon is probably where the most money is going to be made. That's why the most, focus is put on the salon. What I don't see in the lobby is products, because as a salon owner, that's where you make the bulk of your money. The bulk of your money does not come from your stylist, especially, 50% is fair. So you might make a little bit of profit, enough to pay the rent. That's if you can get your chairs full, which is another challenge. Like, you have to have people have a reason to come over there. And if you're offering stylists only Kenya Moore hair care, then they don't want to come. And a high-end salon, you do not, obviously she would be offering Kenya Moore hair care, period, point, stop. But if she's offering Kenya Moore hair care as a stylist, it kind of is off balance in terms of quality. This is a high-end spa, and her hair care products are sold in Sally's and CVS. So at a high-end spa, you're probably not going to want to, she should carry it, like I said, by all means, but you're also going to want to have other things in there, other products that are well-known and that the people are going to want to purchase. What'd you say, High Vibes? Kenya was an unserious business owner. She was unserious. We saw what she did, when she went in there and blew her business up. But, when you're talking about this money, as a salon person, if I had Kenya's kind of money and I wanted to make it very lavish, because you don't make your money right back. It takes years for you to start making profit. And to invest that much money in somebody else's property is ridiculous. She could have bought a freestanding space, owned the building, and then her money would have been put into goods. She invested $400,000 of her money to upgrade somebody else's business. Good morning, Ja Tony. So yeah, you're looking in the lobby, this lavish lobby. It looks like an office building or something. There's no money to be made. While people are sitting there, they should be having a whole retail area, because that's where her money comes from, because the markup is way more, on the retail. That's why so many salons like put pressure on the stylist to sell the product. And if I'm working in a salon, it makes perfect sense for me to sell the product, if I like it, if it's good. And, you need options, So Kenya, yeah, she went in there with a very unserious business plan. But I feel like people always do that. They go in a salon and be like, this is so cute. I want to do this. I've worked for women who have open salons as their toy place to hang out. The owner of my salon, I don't even see them. So, and I feel like this isn't your passion. And if you don't have a passion for the business, you might, like I said, like getting your hair and nails done and stuff. But if it's only an investment, then I don't know, how long it's going to sustain. For us, it's different because the business was already established, I'm saying, for 10 years before the owners got there. So it's one thing to purchase a business that's already successful, but to come in here as Kenya Moore and spend all this stupid money on like the mechanics of it, to me, like I said, that may be why, she can't keep stylists, or, if she was running, functioning, people are only saying that, they ain't seen nobody run up and through there. And wherever she's located, wherever Kenya's business is located, the demographics is probably not, it's Atlanta, but still the demographics is probably not Black people. So she gonna have a situation that caters to the demographics. So it has to appeal to some white folks. And so she needs to bring the kind of products and things in there, that appeal to them. You gotta appeal to the people you around. So I'm not surprised. Kenya was over there on YouTube. They all do that. They come on YouTube. For those of us that are here on YouTube, this is a job. Like at night, I'm looking for stories to come over here and looking and listening, watching shows, taking notes. Like it takes up a lot of my time. I don't know how people who have full-time jobs be over here like they do. What'd you say? How difficult is it to learn running a hair business in Atlanta? This should have failed with her having a name and a celebrity. It shouldn't have failed. Well, I used to live in Atlanta. That's where I was actually licensed at first. Yeah, she has everything, honestly, High Vibe, that it would take to make this business successful. But like I said, it's too big. If I'm walking in as a hairstylist and I see all those chairs bunched up there together, in my mind, I kind of don't want to do it. There's no products, like I said, in the lobby. If there are some, I don't see them. And, raise your hand if you've tried Kenya Moore Hair Care. I have not, because I don't buy my hair products out of Sally's or CVS. That's just me being in the industry and being an industry snob. That doesn't mean in her shop, she should absolutely have it. It should be on the back bar. She should be giving people, gift bags. Like she has every opportunity to pull her shit out of CVS and just sell it out of her salon. She'd probably make more money, or sell it in other salons. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be high end, then she might want to shift it. It's funny. The owners of my salon love purple too. That's the, that's the color over there. Not purple walls though. Yeah, I don't know. High Vibe. I think she had everything working for her. Atlanta is a hair, city, and it's a lot of competition over there. That's part of her problem, because the way they do hair in Atlanta, they're going to be able to smell a fraud straight out the gate. And, you know, like I said, if you're going to go build a salon over in where white people are populated, you know, the most, then you better do some business and visuals, like get you a white girl to run the front desk. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to make it appealing to the people that you're around. So Kenya, I don't know. I guess she probably let it go. I don't know that that's that important to her. Any business that you think you can just run and don't be there on a daily basis to grow it, then, you know, you get what you deserve. The other day, that was just yesterday. Yesterday, we talked about the event planner that for the baby shower, you know, the people that spend $10,000 on their baby shower only for it to be real raggedy. Well, the lady says she's sorry. This event planner says she's issued a statement following Amira and Vaughn calling her out over the baby shower that wasn't executed to their liking. It was not just their liking, it was terrible. The event planner, Ironia Reynolds, wrote, "I am deeply regretful that this was their experience. For over 20 years, I've poured my heart into creating meaningful, beautiful celebrations for families." 20 years? She should be embarrassed. I don't take lightly to the trust I don't take lightly the trust people place in me during their most important moments. I remain committed to making this right and continue to serve my community with excellence, integrity, and care. As we reported, the couple paid $10,000 on the baby shower and said Anya refused to refund them for this event. She need to give them people their money back. She talking about she's sorry. This lady over here, you know, by herself is Anya. Anya, you should be ashamed of yourself. I showed you this yesterday, what I wanted versus what I paid for. This is ridiculous. This is $10,000. $10,000. They played on some curtains, some balloons, various shades of pink that don't match each other, and I don't know, a few tables. So I would love to know what she spent that money on. I don't know, again, why these people think they should be spending $10,000 on a baby shower. But yeah, the lady says she's sorry. Don't be sorry. Give me my money back. That was trash, whatever that baby shower was y'all put together. So don't play with me. Okay, so Janet Jackson made the news. She's sometimes out there in the news. Usually, you know, it's not about her music anymore. It's about who she found herself attached to. So this is just a rumor at this point. We do not know, but Janet Jackson and Louis Farrakhan's son, Mustafa, fueled romance speculation after being spotted at a Detroit concert. Detroit, who was y'all? Oh, they was over here. Okay. Janet Jackson has the internet talking after she was spotted getting cozy with a familiar face during a recent concert stop. The music icon is sparking dating speculation after being seen with Mustafa Farrakhan, son of Nation of Islam's leader Louis Farrakhan and the NOI Supreme Captain, Nation of Islam. The pair most recently attended a New Edition Toni Braxton Boyz II Men tour stop in Detroit, where they were seen enjoying the show together. While neither has confirmed a romance, they've reportedly been spotted multiple times over the past year. Jackson, who tends to keep her private life under wraps, was previously married to billionaire businessman Wassim Al-Mana. The two wed in 2012 and share a son, Issa, before splitting in 2017. Before that, she was married to Rene Alessandro Jr., whom she once described to Ebony in 1993 as her best friend. I'm sure he was back then. Mustafa's late wife, Karen, passed away in 2024, reflecting his devotion. Student Ministry Ismail wrote, "I've never seen a husband care for his wife like Mustafa and his children. He did an outstanding, marvelous job. He learned a little bit about nursing For now, fans are watching closely. What are y'all's thoughts on this couple? I don't think nothing of it. I think she was over there. I'm pretty sure her ex-husband or her baby daddy, even though they be down there acting ghetto down to the apartment, fighting, getting the police called and all those types of things. The man been a widow for 2 years. So, she's been living this whole Muslim lifestyle for a while, so that doesn't surprise me. And the people just went to a concert. Is it, do you have to be going together? Janet Jackson is 60 years old, so probably the most this man is just companionship. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that he is like the love of her life. I feel like the only time we ever talk about Janet is when she is dating somebody, but I don't feel no ways about it. Honestly, I think shout out to Janet. Get your groove on, girl. I wanted to go to that concert though. I don't think it's come here, but yeah, that's a good show. Toni Braxton and who is it? Boys to Men. It's a good list of people over there. I've seen El DeBarge, I think, in Detroit. Is that the one? Because I did see El DeBarge over there, at that. It won't happen here, but I would love to have El DeBarge show up at one of those concerts that I'm going to, but it looks like a good show. Janet is doing her. That's what I said. At 50 years old, let the lady live her life. And that's right up her alley. I mean, being attached to somebody, to Louis Farrakhan's son. You don't have to see Tony. I don't necessarily have to see Tony, but I wouldn't mind to see, who did they say? Boys to Men. Boys to Men, BBD. Who all was at that show? New Edition. Yeah, it was New Edition and Boys to Men. And like I said, I seen El DeBarge over there too. So yeah, I wouldn't mind going to that show. This man is attached to the Nation of Islam. Louis Farrakhan is his father, so he's definitely on her level. I feel like they can have smart conversation. I feel like somebody need to teach Janet something, because she was the one over there talking about Kamala Harris, and she's not black, is she? So yeah, get somebody help her, because she, don't even necessarily know where she came from. But yeah, she's definitely used to the Nation of Islam and all that goes on over there. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. Shout out again to Cat Williams, because I think, he's doing great things out there. Kenya, child, you're going to just have to look for a job as far as I'm concerned, because I don't know that Bravo wants you back over there. They did release the a Housewives clip, their little preview trailer, if you will. It seems like a lot of the same. We got a new person, Pinky, the slutty vegan lady. We got K Michelle. K Michelle's gone. I don't know if they're ready for K Michelle, child. I am kind of interested to see how K Michelle fits in over there. Angela Oakley is rumored to have filed divorce from Charles. I don't know. We'll see. She wants a life without Charles. Maybe that's why she came over here, to the Housewives, so she could start getting her own. Don't open a hair salon. And there's another one. I'm going to be a realtor and buy 5 properties that, throw me in the hole. Anyway, y'all, yeah, hope y'all get through your hump more smoothly than I got over this one this morning, y'all. I will see you tomorrow at 10:30. It is Coffee Talk. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye, y'all.